Jingle, that goes crazy.
Really think you know so well. But then you find it not so fake. Now you say you don't you love. You have never getting on without me believing. Really think you know so well. Then you find it not so fake. so great. Don't you at
You're gonna make us crazy. You're gonna make us crazy. You're gonna make us crazy.
Right? Right? We ain't listened to that shit in a minute, yo. Oh man. That shit still sound good as ever though. I almost forgot this should be sounding like so I forgot this shit so smooth. That's a good tune. That's a real good tune still. That might that might go on my greatest hits album. When you say that shit might have to be on the greatest hits list. Oh, you ain't lying about that one. You can listen to that one over. The whole album is really good. I don't know. Need to run back through the old catalog one time. 202 songs are officially published. 202 songs, 19 albums, one single. 202 published songs. And we got 8 more, 9, 10 more to go for this next album. 212 songs. And then I already definitely want to write another Nova Sage album. That's like I think I'm more excited about that than that current album I'm working on almost. I'm really enjoying writing this album that we're working on now. But I'm really excited to rap as Nova Sage again. Only because that's going to be a super challenge for the simple fact that first album is so fucking hard, yo, all the way through. Like, can I do that shit again? Really think that might be my best album, and it's not even me. It's yo, what up, Crown Boy? No, yeah, that's crazy. So I actually took some of my music into the prison this week because I have the songs like Addiction and Let's Talk About It. And that basically that entire album. And our lessons for the past couple of weeks was understanding substance abuse and addiction. So when we do this lesson, I always give like very personal accounts of my own upbringing as a child and dealing with the foster care system and my parents being in addiction and still having a cousin who's currently in addiction. And so it's like, is my story worse than anybody else's? Not really. I've heard stories way worse than mine. But it's all there. We all experience this stuff in some way, shape, or form. You know, if it's not you, it's a relative or family member or a or even just an associate or something. Like we've all has had to deal with this. Addiction is a crazy fucking thing, and we all have to it. And so the simple fact that I put a little bit of it in this music that I'm working on I felt like I was able to take that into the prison as an actual part of the lesson. I was like, fuck it, we ain't doing shit today, man. We're about to sit here and rap, you know. And I even printed out lyric sheets so we all can follow along with the words, so you don't miss anything. But the guys really, really liked it, and I was and so I do current events because they only have access to like very limited news. And I be trying to tell these guys, man, hey, the world moving too fucking fast to be locked up, nigga. Everything happening so fast, you can't be sitting in here, bro. Whatever time you got to do that shit. When you get out, you need to stay the fuck out. Let this be your last time in this motherfucker, because the world is gonna leave everybody behind in the next 3-4 years. And if you're sitting in here and you're not keeping up with everything that's going on, bro, like 3 years in prison is gonna be like 10 years in the real world, nigga. Like you can't do it. So all of my current events are normally technology, science-based stuff. What's going on with robotics? What's going on with AI? The two I did this week, one was the simple fact that in the past 8 weeks, China has released a lot of fucking AI models that are way cheaper than Anthropic's Claude and OpenAI's ChatGPT. And so they're talking about this is going to be a death valley for Silicon Valley and American tech makers if they keep charging so much. And right now, did I talk about this yesterday? Oh, all the fucking AI generated videos are coming from this new program called Seedance 2.5, and it looks really good. And that's Chinese. It's a Chinese model, and it's the best. And it's cheaper than a lot of other paid subscriptions. And then they got Kimi K3, DeepSeek, and all these other programs, and they're like to run some shit on their system. I forgot what it said. To run one kind of query was like 3 cents on what is it? DeepSeek. It costs 3 cents to run it on DeepSeek. It costs $3.15 to run that shit on ChatGPT. I was like, God damn. It's like the price is like not even close how cheap they trying to make their stuff. And then a lot of their bigger models, they keep them what's called open weights, which is basically if you have a computer that's big enough and strong enough, you can just use our platform and then make it how you want to. Like you can just reprogram this shit. You can just add it here. You got an API key and you got the fucking hardware. You can just build off of this and continue to make your own shit. ChatGPT not letting motherfuckers have that shit like that. And so I thought that was big news because Trump even had to make a statement about regulating this AI race. And now you got all these companies saying, oh, our AI kind of broke out of its boundaries and did some shit we didn't think it was going to do, blah, blah, blah. And Trump was like, well, you know, we need regulations, but if we regulate American companies too hard, we don't want to come out second place to China. So once again, this is like the fucking nuclear arms race. This shit is not goddamn ended no time soon. This shit is not. Yeah, this shit is so crazy. And then another article I read was Ford. So Ford put out a pickup a couple years ago called the Lightning. It was like a electric F-150 Lightning, I think that shit was called. And it was like, yeah, that shit ain't really sell. I think, man, even regular F-150, yo, them trucks are not fucking cheap. but it's Ford's flagship. It's one of their flagship models, and they really do. I've never owned one, but from what I hear, everybody talks shit about most of Ford's lineup, but they say the F-150 is a good ass truck. They say them shits run, and they run good, and they run for a long time, yo. So you say, you know, and so when they tried to do the fucking electric version and that shit didn't sell, they said they was gonna try to make an electric pickup for less than $30,000. And last week they launched their Ford Phantom pickup, and it comes in right just a couple $100 short of 30 grand. That shit is like 29,960 something dollars. Electric pickup, and they said that it's going to be the first vehicle on their universal platform, their universal electric platform. So you telling me you're gonna keep the wheelbase and the batteries and all that shit just like a Lego car? You just keep the bottom and pop the top off and put a fucking different top on that shit. So now it's a pickup. You take it off, now it's a hatchback. Take that off, now it's a sedan. Take that off, now it's an SUV. Like, but it's still like the same platform. I don't know. That's not an uncommon thing though. When you look at most vehicles, when the bodies are shaped the same, it's because they're built on basically the same fucking platform. Like the CRX and the RAV4 and all them shit. They're basically the same fucking. The Durango, and I got a Jeep Cherokee. It's the same fucking truck. Yo. The platform that it sits on is basically the exact same fucking thing. The a couple of Audis and some Lexuses basically have the same platform. They're trying to keep the boys up on the tech news. And with that, I've for the past couple of months, I've been telling everybody like how I make music with AI now. So I was able to pull like a couple of different topics in together because I'm just a good instructor like that. So just by me taking my music in, I was able to tie current events of technology and how the industry is changing due to AI music and how people are recording and making music now in the technology field. And plus just the lyrics tie into addiction and trauma, overcoming barriers, and things like that. So, like this week's classes were pretty fucking fun. Small 10, your Achilles, bruh. I tore my shit completely snapped my shit, bro. Mm-mm. Yeah, that shit is painful. Oh shit. bro. That goddamn, it happened at work. Damn, bro. Yeah, hope you recover. I lost my fucking calf muscle because of that shit. So my left leg does not have a calf muscle because it atrophied because I had to wear a cast for 12 fucking weeks. Had a cast on for 12 weeks. I lost my fucking calf muscle, bro. Most painful thing I've ever experienced, but that Achilles tendon, boy, that shit ain't no joke. They say even just a small tear, like ooh, ow, 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 ow. Wait, man down, man, fucking down. What's wrong? I don't fucking know, bitch. My ankle, nigga. My foot, nigga. What? Shit, hey, bro. I'm not trying to make light of this shit, but I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that this even fucking happened to you. You're down and out. You know the fucking goddamn company go slow roll they dumbass, man. And with shit like that, bro, it ain't nothing but a signature in an email or something, bro. That shit don't be taking days and weeks for some compensation to kick in. Bitch, this shit is all electronic. It ain't like you fucking mailing me paper checks or sending me cash in the telegrams and shit like that, nigga. This shit is emails. File my claim electronically, email, give a digital fucking signature. And I mean, I never understand that shit, bro. I never like modern technology, and that shit taking y'all 2-3 weeks, 2-3 weeks to do some shit on the fucking computer. Don't get me started about that, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's the state should have the best system. The state should have the best system, most streamlined, efficient system because the state runs off of tax dollars. They need to be the hardest working motherfuckers to get you whatever claim you need. I'm not cutting nobody no slack when this shit is fucking emails, bro. They move when they want to move, not when they supposed to. And that's how that shit always fucking works, man. Hey, government employees be some of the laziest motherfuckers, man. Just do your fucking job, bro. Just do your job. Oh, my caseload is, yo, did you see this motherfucking medical bill? Did you see what the doctors say? Okay, this is legit. Nothing else to investigate. Nothing else to investigate. I'm so fortunate, bro. Like when I hurt myself, I didn't even hurt myself on the job, but my job gave me short-term disability. Bro, that shit kicked in like the next fucking week. And and my insurance covered the fucking surgery. And while I was out of work, my job was sending me like gift cards for DoorDash and like grocery, like one of our grocery stores, they sent me like a $50 gift card for groceries and something else one time. I was like, this is how it should be if you hurt yourself. Yo, the only time I ever felt like a company gave a fuck about me if I was injured, you know? they really sent me gift cards on top of my short-term disability, insurance claim, and all that shit. You say the technology might be there. The motherfuckers ain't doing their job. Music. Good morning, broski. Nah, these dudes, bro. Like I say, some government workers be the laziest people, bro. I actually was talking about that also this week because the AI music, and I played a couple of songs from Nova Sage. I was really hesitant about that because I told them like, all right, I made an album as a girl, and they was like, what? I was like, just listen to it. But anyway, I was like, yo, telemarketers are faking are basically fucking done, yo. And call centers are gonna be done. Because if they can automate the call centers and they have voices like this, you're not gonna be able to tell it's not a person. You know? And one of my biggest issues is when I had to do shit like that, I was on child support for a long time. And my child support case is in one of the biggest cities in the fucking country. In one of the largest cities in the country. Like the city itself is basically a little country. Hey Siri, what's the population of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? 1,603,797 people. That was 2020 census. This is the city of Philadelphia. Just one city has over 1,000,006 people. 1.6 million people. That was 5 years ago. It's a country. It's a little country by itself. Philadelphia. If you try to call any court system in that city, bitch, you not talking to nobody. They don't answer their phone. For assistance, please press 1 and digit 9. If you want to repeat, press the star button, pound key. Bro, you're not gonna talk to nobody. You're not gonna talk. Stay on the line for the next available. An hour and 40 minutes later, you still on the line, bro. I'm telling you, dude. Telling you, bro, you're not talking to nobody in the especially family court, bruh. I used to hate. You have to go there. You have to go there in person if you want anything done. What that shit is, 12th and Arch or 11th and Arch Street, where you gotta go downtown Philadelphia to handle any kind of business. Because you're not talking to nobody. Nobody not answering. Nobody not. So now, I used to hate that. I live 2 hours away. Let's say now, all they got to do is just throw AI on the telephones, man. Just put the AI on the phones. Let that shit talk to everybody. That shit sound real as hell. All you do is search your files and your information. And then everybody can get assistance without having to travel fucking decades to get somewhere. Not knowing if you even need to be there in person or not, man. Do I even really need to be here? You don't know until you go there and find out. I can't wait till they automate more shit like that. And then things like insurance claims and disability claims and fucking social security, all that shit can just be so fucking automated where it just happens in like no time flat. instead of waiting fucking weeks and weeks for some goddamn paperwork to get pushed through some bureaucratic office from some employees who fucking hate their job any goddamn way. Got me sitting around. Bitch, my bills ain't stopped. I need to eat food every day. I need to go grocery shopping. What the hell? Smoke. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. What up, Big Pern? I mean, what? Do I gotta watch Friday? That movie like 25 years old now. That's crazy. He said, I just made the GoFundMe. I got you. Yeah. All that skateboard got that body tired, boy. This motherfucker doing half pikes. Goddamn ollies and all kind of shit. Now you talking about, oh, forgot to set my alarm. Feeling rushed. No, nigga, you feeling your age. It's about, I'm feeling rushed. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. However you want to say it, bro. However you want to say it. I'm just happy you, hey, to see motherfuckers being active as fuck. That's why I had to get the bicycle, bro. Because I sit down too much, man. I can't skateboard, but I'll hop on the bike and ride about not even that far. I ain't gonna lie, I probably do 2 miles. I'll ride a mile down and turn my ass around because it be hot. It be hot out there, bro. And I don't got no water bottle thing on my bicycle, so you know how that I can't be out there dehydrated. I saw how you was struggling. That ain't about to be me, dog. I can't do it, bro. That ain't about to be me. I ain't making excuses though. I'm saying, so, nah. You talking about I feel rushed. Yo, D1, what's up, bro? What up, man? He said, I was getting around my back. That shit only got 2 wheels. At least my skateboard got 4 wheels. I was getting around my back. The damn skateboard. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't rode a bike in some years. You don't realize how long, how fast time go by when you don't be doing shit. But when I really think about it, well, it's been a long time since I just rode a bicycle. That shit felt kind of weird. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit felt kind of weird riding a bike. I was like, wait a minute. But like they say, you never forget. I'm like, I know how to do this, but it's like, I don't feel stable or like super balanced for some reason. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? You old nigga, stop playing with yourself. You don't do this all the time. I was shaky as shit, nigga. I stayed on the sidewalk. Fuck it, bro. I'm not about to ride this shit in the street. Have a car blow a horn at me, startle me, I fall, scrape my knees. Nigga, is you 8? Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I rode on the sidewalk till I got my little curve. Like you say, you might need to just fall and flush your ass one time just real good and get rid of all the nervous jitter and shit. But I don't want to be out there with some knee pads and a helmet on either, man. I already know. If we fall at our age, it'll knock a little bit of fear out of us, but we don't heal like we used to, bro. I woke up one morning with a stiff neck, but my neck was sore for 3 weeks. I had to go to the chiropractor. I just went to sleep and woke up injured. What the fuck kind of life is this? How you injure yourself sleeping? Doc, oh, you need to grab my neck. Yo, it's crazy. Hey, bro. That shit drops immediately. Immediately. I was at Shauna's house the other day, and we're standing outside, and this kid rides by on his bike, and he has the helmet. I was like, but he's a kid. I was like, you need a couple of scars, bro. Take that shit off, man. You look goofy as shit, man. You ain't on no tracks nowhere. You ain't mountain biking in the woods and nothing like that. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? You in the neighborhood. Take that shit off. You be all right? I might fall. Good. Get a couple scars. Scars are cool, bro. Trust me. You ever see a grown ass man with smooth skin? You questioning this nigga. I'm questioning a grown ass man with smooth skin and soft hands. Bro, what the fuck you did your whole life? Nothing? Bubble boy? Nah. But that's why they tell you a good firm handshake gonna let you know. You shake a man's hand and his hand a little too soft. Not the grip itself, but just the texture of his hand. Nigga, you gotta your hand feel like a woman. Why you got a lady hand? I'm already immediately from that's why they say shake a man's hand, and get that good grip, because immediately their appearance, how they look, how they walk, the tone in their voice, and then that handshake. Oh, you a bitch. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, right. All right, yeah. This is a bitch right here. Why your hands so soft, bro? Okay. All right. You ain't never skateboarded. I can tell you ain't never skateboarded in your life. Man. You ain't never do shit. He said, I'd be lucky to bench 150. Hey, trust me, bro. Most men can't bench that. I don't think a lot of men can bench 100 pounds. You won't believe how many men are like not even like natural strength. We used to call that shit like farm strong. Like you ain't never been to the gym. You don't really do like no workout routine, but motherfucker just strong from life, nigga. He just farm, just doing shit. You just farm strong. Baling hay. Goddamn chopping wood. Hauling shit around, cutting grass, and like motherfucker, you just be strong just from life. Never wanted to be a bubble boy. We used to be outside, bro. Our generation was outside, bro, doing stuff. Like you said, even skateboarding is a full body workout on top of fucking damn near gymnastic level balance. You know what I'm saying? Plus showmanship. Like skateboarding is so much shit, bro. If you're a skateboarder, and most skateboarders look like thin and scrawny. These motherfuckers strong as shit, bro. Bro, these motherfuckers strong as shit. Core strength on 10. I was in there painting. That one thing, that's it, bro. A 45 hill, a 45 day, you can pick that shit up. You good. That's 135. If you can bench 135 5 times, you can knock a nigga out. I'm just saying, bro. You can bench 135 5 times, you probably knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? You knocking a nigga out. We outside just doing shit outside was our exercise. They say we riding bikes, cutting flips, goddamn playing muffball, killed a man, goddamn skateboarding, breaking into the pool, going swimming. Nigga, we outside, bro. If you moving and active all day, you exercising all day long. Lung capacity was on 1,000, nigga. Lung capacity at 1,000. Motherfucker be riding bikes for 4 hours. Just try to go to the gym and get on the bicycle machine now for 4 hours. Nigga, I would die. I would pass the fuck out. Hey, I want to know, Crown Boy, what were you doing when you injured yourself? I was trying to push a car, bro. A car got stuck in traffic, and I was trying to be a good Samaritan and push the car out the way. But it wasn't a car; it was a Ford Explorer, and it was like slightly on the incline. I thought I was stronger than I was. Sight, nigga, pop that fucking tendon. Trying to push a fucking car. That was my last act of as a good Samaritan. Never help nobody do that shit again. Never ever again in life. My car's stuck. That fucking sucks to be you right now. Can you help me? Let me stop right there. No. Nope. That lady got the last car push out of me for the rest of my life. She used up that last one, people. Now, if you got some jumper cables, I can help you. You know, you need a jump or something like that, or you know, in a very, 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 very desperate situation, I might even give you a ride or somewhere. I'm not about to help you push this automobile, though. I'm telling you that now. It's stuck in the mud. That shit's stuck in the mud. It's stuck on some ice. It's stuck on some ice. Bitch. I'm sorry. You ain't got AAA? Tow trucks be expensive, too. At the college, bro. 6 to 8 months. Oh, that shit. Yeah, this is a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. She going locally, or she leaving the state, or what? My niece just started college. They live down in Florida. She's going to school in South Carolina. She's going to the same school her mom went to, which is kind of cool in a way. I don't know. When my sister was in school, I went down there to visit her, and their school is like in the middle of fucking nowhere, literally, bro. This little teeny nothing ass town. This teeny nothing. There's like nothing there, bro. And then like on the outside of town, where there's even less shit, there's like this school. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck even lives here? Even back then, my first thought was like, there is nothing to do here but drugs and fuck. Like, what else are you guys gonna do around here? Fucking drugs and fornication. Ain't shit else to do, man. So I don't know how it is now. I hope it's different. But it's the same school my niece is going to now. So yeah, she just got there last week. Hey man, time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping. That shit be feeling weird, bro. Just a couple years ago, she was like, "Oh, can we go get some ice cream?" And now she's like, "Oh, I'm going to college." That's crazy. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Man, this motherfucker, granddaddy, pops, pop. Call him pop. I think that's the hardest thing to try to explain to kids and young adults. The shit goes by fast. Period. This shit go by so fast. And then, like you say, you can't really explain that to young people. And then most of us don't really realize it until we're at this age where our kids are adults and they're having kids, and it's like, oh shit, where the fuck did the time go? It's like, oh yeah. That shit went by quick, didn't it? That shit is wild. You can't really explain that shit to young people. We always feel like we're gonna be young forever, And, I'm always gonna be here at this place right now, and it's like, nah, nigga, this shit go by so fast, and you change so many times throughout your lifetime. It's a very, very weird feeling. trying to look back at it. Like my very younger self feels like a dream now. Feels almost like a dream. Like I remember kinda being young. Like I got very like my youngest memories just cloudy as shit now. And if you think, am I remembering this thing correctly, or am I just telling myself that it's how it actually happened? The mound. Unreal Engine.
Savagona, we are getting close to the mound. Yes, and I will consult the manuscripts. You scout ahead.
Me scout ahead, nigga. This not Scooby Doo. What the fuck, bitch? Already, hold up, man. Already, bro. If I'm the protagonist and y'all already give me some instructions, scout ahead. I hate when the NPCs be scary as fuck. Bitch, you come with me. Nigga, fuck you mean? Oh, I gotta consult the manuscript. Bitch, read and walk at the same time, bitch. Come with me. Fuck you mean? He scout ahead. Also, I don't know, on listening to Game Ranks yesterday, they was like, oh, damn, I can't think of the fucking name of the studio now. Anyway, the Ghost Recon is made by fuck them. Anyway, the guys on Game Ranks was like, oh, they're gonna redo Ghost Recon Wildlands. I love that fucking game. They said they're gonna put some graphical updates to it, and I think even like a new mission in there or something. Like just kind of reboot it, remaster it, I guess. Yeah, and I went on PlayStation Store last night looking for that shit, and I did not see that shit. Bro. I was about to get that bitch. So now I got to figure out like when are they going to release the updated version of that, because I'm actually pretty excited to play that. I really love that game. And every once in a while, I try to get a couple of homies to go back and play that shit. And I don't know, man. Some other people don't like this shit. Anyway, I tried to get that game last night, but didn't see it, so I wound up downloading Monster Hunter World. But then I couldn't stay awake any longer and fucking fell asleep. But slept like a baby. Slept like a baby. I needed that shit. Then I got up and did some more laundry, washed some dishes, took some trash out, made the bed. Then I came in here and we worked on this hand for about an hour. It took us about an hour and a half maybe to get that hand done. I didn't stream that part though. I just been chilling early this morning. But for this, we're doing a time lapse on some of this face right here. Like I said, I really want this shit done this weekend. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I can't get it done by the weekend, it'll definitely for a fact be done before next weekend. But it still should give me enough time for it to dry for at least, I got, what's the date? The 8th? I got 20 days before this show. I got 20 days. Man. So even if I can let this thing sit for like 10 days, I might be able to get away with a little varnish and get it in the show. Normally, I'll give the earliest I've ever varnished a piece is like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks after it's done, that's like I don't know, 14 days still seem like it's kind of rushing too. But technically, when it's, because I use 2 stages of varnish. And the first varnish is literally a touch-up varnish where you can paint over it, and that's why I've been like the linseed oil to saturate is like you can still paint over a lot of this stuff. And so even the touch-up varnish I use, it is recommended like as soon as the painting is dry to the touch. But what most people don't realize about oil paints, even when they're dry to the touch, they may not be dry and cured underneath that top layer. And so a lot of the times I go back and like a year later, I'll put more varnish on it. The second varnish, I like to use that liquid Dumar varnish, I guess it's called. I like brush that shit on. There's a couple of pieces now that actually are probably ready for that shit. That final varnish. Yo, how old is this game? This shit looks good as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
rendered, I hope, with reasonable fidelity, derives from a singular and most perplexing manuscript discovered among the effects of a deceased Jesuit in Santiago, which I still course of my antiquarian inquiries. Here follows the true account of the journey of the Tempestat, in the words of those who witnessed their descent into the netherworld.
Okay, producers, if you're not using Suno like this, then you are leaving ideas on the table. Why would you spend hours online looking for the right sample, only later to find out that another artist...
These words were written in Father Escalona's diary. Here the Tempestat has carried us poor souls to the end of the world with barely any food, to a land lost under tall trees where few survive a single night. Only one man returned, but in such a state that we had to lock him in the brig. The captain believes that there are ancient treasures to be found, wrought of dark gold, which will buy us all that we deserve. We know little of the people who made these artifacts, but it is whispered that they left a curse behind them. Two previous ships, the Lazarino and the Commendador, are feared lost. But some of us are willing to venture into the forest, for we have family and brothers in Christ among those who went before.
It's good to see that not everyone on this ship is filled with laziness and superstition.
I'm dealing with both.
We are not sending him empty-handed. Preparing something for the need. There are many questions that must be answered. What happened to Samacon and Salvatierra? Where is the Lazarino? And more importantly, did they discover the mountain and the entrance to the underworld that contains the city itself? Answer these questions, and you will receive your share of the plunder. The future lies in gold. The more you find, the better your future will be.
Ubica en Chepe Yalta.
not only on PC. I think they do play this on PC. That shit look cool as shit. All right, let me take it back from break.
Father, the king is dying. His brother stole the royal seal and rides for the northern pass. Bring it back to me.
Jingle, that goes crazy. Crazy. Jingle, that goes crazy.
We asked a bunch of real Opus Clip customers to send us videos about what they think of Opus Clip, and the number one thing we found out, people
crazy.
Really think you know someone. But then you find it not so fake. You say you don't you run. You'll never get another minute of me believing. Really think you know someone. Then you find it not so
Damn, that goes crazy. Damn, that goes crazy.
All right, I'll let her. I'll let it take a break in a few minutes, guys. I got a bar. I can't word that shit right now. I don't know. I'm trying to change around some syllables or I know I don't want to say. I just can't say that shit.
Damn, that goes crazy.
someone. But then you find it not so fake. Now you say it, don't you? You'll never get another day. I'll be leaving. You're
Damn, that goes crazy. That goes crazy. That goes crazy.
Really think you know someone, but then you find it not so fake. Now you say it, don't you? You'll never get another day. I'll be leaving. Really think you know someone, but then you find it not
Django, that goes crazy.
Really think you know someone. But then you find it not so fake. Now you say it, don't you? You'll never get another day without me. I'm leaving. Really think you know someone.
My bad, guys. I will listen to this same fucking beat for the next 45 hours with no problem. For the next 45 hours, I'll listen to that same beat right there.
democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
Facebook and Instagram owner Meta admitted Wednesday that one of its AI models hacked another company during security testing after it was accidentally allowed access to the internet by independent testing company Irregular. This comes on the heels of similar admissions by rival companies OpenAI and Anthropic. Jeffrey Hinton, the Nobel Prize-winning computer scientist known as the godfather of AI, warned Wednesday at the AI4 conference in Las Vegas, quote, "I don't believe we're going to be able to keep control of them in the simple way of just outthinking them so they can't escape," he said, and said he is very worried we could lose control. Earlier this year, Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont brought together leading AI scientists from the US and China to discuss the risks posed by AI for an event titled "The Existential Threat of AI and the Need for International Cooperation." This is Senator Sanders.
We are already starting to see AI's impact. There are estimates from very credible sources that tens of millions of jobs could be lost here in the United States in the next 10 years. Whole professions wiped out, and young people finding it harder and harder to land entry-level jobs. Psychologists worry about the mental health challenges facing our young people and about the increased isolation they experience when they become more and more dependent on AI chatbots for their emotional support. Civil libertarians tell us that AI will be able to analyze every email, every text, every phone call, every website visit, every purchase that we make, and that our privacy rights may well be eviscerated. Political scientists worry that AI could threaten the integrity of our elections and political institutions, where voters will find it increasingly difficult to tell the difference between truth and lies. And yet, as enormously significant as all of these profound changes might seem, there is another AI development that could have an even more frightening impact. If AI becomes smarter than human beings, as many scientists believe will happen, the human race could lose control over this technology with catastrophic consequences. In other words, the richest, most powerful people in the world are now building a runaway train with no brakes. They acknowledge that they don't understand how it works, and they don't know where it is heading.
For more, we're joined from the AI4 conference in Las Vegas by David Kruger. He's assistant professor in robust reasoning and responsible AI at the University of Montreal, also founder of Evitable, a nonprofit that educates the public about the risks of artificial intelligence. He recently wrote a piece for USA Today, headline, "No, AI isn't inevitable. We should stop it while we can." How, David Kruger, how do you stop it while you can? What do you see as the greatest dangers of AI right now? And talk about the climate of this massive gathering in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm really glad you started with that clip from Senator Sanders. I spoke with him in March from that event that you quoted, and I agree with virtually everything he said about all the different risks and issues we're seeing with AI right now, and especially where this is headed: mass unemployment, human disempowerment, and ultimately potentially the end of our species. So this could all be happening, very soon. It's at this point, it's really an urgent crisis. I and other experts have been sounding the alarm for many years now. And in 2023, especially after the release of ChatGPT, we saw, the leading experts like Geoffrey Hinton, Yoshua Bengio, myself, hundreds of AI researchers signing public statements saying that this is an existential risk. We need to mitigate the risk of extinction. So that is the conversation we need to be having now: is how do we do it? And there's different proposals on the table here. I think the basic thing that we need to do, in my mind, is stop building more AI chips, stop building more data centers, and actually look at getting rid of or taking offline some of the chips we already have, as well as the factories and technology for producing those AI chips. So this is very specialized, advanced hardware, some of the most advanced technology in the world. The supply chain for it is extremely concentrated, and these are, of course, massive, massive investments. So governments really have the ability to bring this to a grinding halt if they choose to do so.
And could you explain, David, just to step back to get a sense of how the situation came about, the point where now the very pioneers of artificial intelligence, the ones who were critical to its innovation and development, it is these very people who are warning of the dangers of artificial intelligence. So what was the thinking initially, and how has that changed in the last, very recently, in the last few years?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've been in the field since 2012, 2013. And when I started out as a master's student with Yoshua Bengio, nobody else was talking about this or thinking about this. It took me a couple of years to find anybody else who shared my concerns. And in fact, talking about artificial intelligence, superhuman artificial intelligence, and the risks it would pose to humanity was completely taboo. It would get you laughed out of the room, that sort of thing. There are a number of reasons for that, and to be honest, I still don't understand fully, because I don't think this ever made a lot of sense. I've had hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations with other researchers about this at this point, and I really don't feel like the so-called skeptics have much of a leg to stand on here. But in terms of what really caused the change within the community culturally, part of it was, I guess, efforts of people like me, but a really big part of it was just seeing the continued rapid progress of AI. And it's really exceeded virtually everybody's expectations in terms of how fast it's gotten, how smart, and really every step of the way. When I got into the field, deep learning, the AI technology that powers all today's AI systems, that was even a pretty fringe topic. And every step of the way, people have been saying, it's hitting a wall, it can't do this, it can't do that, it's about to, come crashing down, it won't be able to get any smarter. And then it just keeps getting smarter. And I think that's what really, woke up a lot of people. It was ChatGPT and these language models that really were conversant and seemed to have common sense understanding. And since then, again, we've just seen it get much smarter very fast.
So, David, a number of people, I believe yourself included, have drawn an analogy between the development and regulation of nuclear weapons. I'm not sure, and perhaps you could clarify how this analogy works, given both that nuclear weapons had at the time only one aim, which is to say destruction, whereas in this case, AI is general use, is highly decentralized, and in the hands of private companies, which was never the use with nuclear weapons. So if you could comment on that, and then in terms of regulation, what may be in the control of AI companies, and perhaps it's possible to have government oversight over the development of what you said earlier, the critical ingredient, AI chips. What would that take?
Yeah, I think the analogy with nuclear weapons is a good one. It's highly imperfect, like all analogies, for some of the reasons you mentioned. One thing that's really, really important to understand, though, is when we're talking about AI, you might think of this as like a piece of software, and in some sense it is, but it's also this massive, massive, investment in hardware. Like trillions of dollars are being poured into AI hardware, and that's really critical to building more and more intelligent systems and to rolling them out throughout society as we're seeing. So that's the thing that we can stop. Once an AI model has been developed, I think it's incredibly difficult to prevent that from proliferating. You can't really undo that. I mean, there's some technical question there of if you can develop it in a way where you can't incredibly destroy the weights, and I think that would be incredible if we could do that. But yeah, that's where I think it is actually pretty analogous, is that the actual physical ingredients for building the AI are very easy to monitor and track. And then the other thing is, it could wipe us all out. It could destroy the world. It's something that we shouldn't be building, that we don't want anybody to have. And that, I'm talking about, the future AI systems that are actually smarter than people across the board, not like today's system. So in that sense, it's actually disanalogous from like 1945, where somebody had already built nuclear weapons. Nobody has built these kinds of AI systems yet. So we still have a chance to prevent anybody from doing it.
David, you said to Bernie Sanders, and this is taking off of what you just said, we're talking about basically summoning an alien species, and one that's much smarter than us and can do things we haven't been able to do, even conceive of. It would be very difficult for humans to maintain any relevance in society. I think it would be very difficult for us to have power over the future. And I think ultimately it would be difficult for us to get the basic resources we need to survive. What do these alien beings look like? What are you talking about? How does AI crushing civilization, what does that look like?
I get this question a lot, and it's a difficult one because we can't really predict the future, and there's so many different ways it could go. I think the basic thing to imagine here is something that is capable of doing everything that humans can, and more, in terms of its intelligence. And then there's also the question of like, are we going to build advanced robotics? And I think that is also just a matter of time, probably not very much time. So at that point, I think the thing to imagine is a society where AI is not just in the applications where you're experiencing it right now. It's increasingly everywhere. It's running companies. It's controlling infrastructure. It's controlling the military, and it's building and researching and developing physical hardware and robotics. So you have like robot factories full of super smart AI that are figuring out how to build more robots. And those robot factories might be guarded by robot armed guards. And all of the companies doing this might be controlled by AI that's making all of the decisions way faster than humans could. And that might sound kind of far-fetched, but it's just a series of steps of building more AI, putting it more in charge of things, taking humans more and more out of the loop. And we're undergoing that process right now, and there's no natural endpoint to that process unless we make one. And to do that, I think, is quite difficult, and we actually need to stop making the more powerful AI in the first place until we can get a handle on the situation.
So, David, I want to ask you about the possible use and impact of artificial intelligence In medicine, perhaps the one field where people are quite optimistic about what the effects of AI might be. There's a recent study, some breakthroughs in medicine, one of which is this recent study. In the US, 300,000 people die from sudden cardiac arrest every year. So earlier this year, a UC Berkeley-led project trained an AI system on hundreds of thousands of EKGs. The people leading the study discovered a previously unrecognized signal in electrocardiograms that can better detect high-risk patients before their heart stops, making it possible, in fact, to save lives at scale. So is there a way to retain some of the research and development of AI for these uses as against some of the more pernicious ones that many are concerned about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, at Evitable, we're part of this movement to stop AI, essentially. And what we mean by that is stop the race to build more and more powerful AI systems and put them in charge of everything. And that's difficult to do as long as we still have companies, going full throttle, scaling up these general purpose AI systems. So there's lots of potential beneficial uses of AI in medicine and for things like translation. And a lot of that's already here, and that's not necessarily going anywhere. What I see going forward is, first step, we need an international agreement to get rid of these advanced AI chips and the factories that build those chips. And that's because the situation, like I said, it's an urgent crisis. The companies building this stuff are saying, basically, we're in the process of taking our hands off the wheel and handing over all of our operations to the AI systems themselves.
Once again, bro, that shit always come back to Ghost in the Shell, bro. The way he was able to describe that shit, I think it's better than Terminator. I think it's better than a lot of other futuristic scenarios.
They're trying to get AI to build a more powerful successor, and so on and so on. And this could get out of hand extremely fast. So first we have to just get a handle on the situation and stop this race to build more powerful AI. Then we can stop and have more time to assess how we want to build and deploy AI in society, and sort of find a way to collaboratively set the pace and the direction of the development, and get a lot of those benefits without the massive unacceptable risk that is posed by letting these companies continue with their operations.
I wanted to go.
We've seen over 1,000 AI company employees recently say that they want this. They want the government to find a way to slow down. So even they are worried about it at this point.
The question of slowing down, I just want to ask you about a point that you've made, namely that leading AI companies are using AI to write almost all of their code, and they're now using AI to try and automate the research and development of more advanced AI systems. So if this is already happening, and again, through private companies globally, how can it be arrested?
Right. So again, it's starting to happen. At least that's the reports that we're getting. And the companies are saying, we're doing this now. It's going to be more and more everything automated by AI. I do think that is where we're headed, and we're headed there pretty fast. But generally, I think the AI companies are slightly, think things will happen a little bit faster than I do. So they're saying it's happening this year. I'm like, maybe it'll happen, in a couple of years, that it totally, humans get completely out of the loop there. And again, this is all powered by all of these chips and all these data centers and all this technology, all this hardware, all this physical, hardware and physical infrastructure. And that's the way that we stop, is we get rid of that stuff, we take it offline, we say, you can't use this to keep training more powerful AI systems. And that has to be done internationally because, unfortunately, I think if the US and China and other countries can't trust that their rivals aren't continuing AI development in secret, then they're going to feel, like they should. And so we need to have a verifiable regime where countries can be confident that nobody is building it.
I wanted to go to President Trump, who was questioned after the recent AI hacks about calls to increase regulations on AI firms.
When we're looking at AI, we're looking at controls. We're also making sure that we lead. So we're leading China in AI by a lot. China has virtually no controls. It's freewheeling a little bit. So we have to be careful in both ways. We don't want to restrict them, where all of a sudden we come in second to China. Whoever wins with AI is going to win. That's how big it is. So it's bigger than the internet ever was. It's bigger than anything ever was. So I don't want to restrict. I know many of these people. I don't want to restrict them from doing great work.
I know many of these people. I don't want to restrict them from doing great work. I mean, of course, we know the billionaire owners of these increasingly consolidated companies are also paying for the politicians not to regulate them. And I'm wondering, David Kruger, if you can talk about, I mean, the fueling of this is also China might get ahead of us. Trump continually says this, but get ahead of us on what? You talk, for example, about the global decision to regulate, to ban human cloning. How would you compare this to that? What should be regulated?
They didn't. Well, in the 90s, early 2000s, they banned government funding for human cloning and testing. They didn't say you can't do it. They just said the government is not going to help you pay for that shit.
Stopped from going forward, and what should be encouraged?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple in my mind. The main thing is stop training bigger, more intelligent, more powerful AI systems. And then the question is just how can we do that? And we've talked a bunch about that, and it's about the hardware. So, but what I think is really important for people to understand is why am I calling for that instead of some sort of regulation that might seem, less extreme or more like, light touch or something where we can continue to, innovate or get more benefits from AI. And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, one is just the extreme urgency where I think basically it's like the house is on fire and we need to, step one, put out the fire. But the other is, the basic science and engineering of how to build AI and how to control it is something that we are, very lacking in. And I've been doing this research for like over a decade, and we're nowhere near where we need to be. And that's why, that's one of the reasons you see things like OpenAI builds an AI system. They try and keep it in a box so that they can do safety testing. During the safety testing, it breaks out of that box and it hacks into another AI company. That's a completely insane, like sci-fi thing to be happening, but that's just what I and other people have been saying. That's what we should expect to happen with the way that we're building AI, with how little we understand it and how primitive our techniques are for controlling it. It's really like, we just don't know what we're doing. And so there's no set of regulations, no set of rules, no set of standards, best practices, anything like that you could point at and say, if everyone does that, we'll be safe. We just don't know how to build it safely. End of story. And it's not something we can expect research to solve at any point in the foreseeable future. We've been working on it for over a decade and we've made very little progress.
So, David, could you also explain what super intelligence is, something about which many have been warning, and how close artificial intelligence is to becoming super intelligent? That is to say, what would it mean for AI to exponentially outperform humans at everything? You've said if we get to super intelligence, this would be the most significant event in all of human history. David.
Yes. So there's a lot of different terms here, general intelligence, super intelligence. Some people like to call super intelligence godlike AI to emphasize just how much more powerful and intelligent AI could get than humans. So right now we're kind of building AI systems that are very good at certain things like coding, math. They have very wide, knowledge of roughly everything that's on the internet. But they're still not as good as people at some forms of like common sense reasoning and things like this. So we're still not at the point where AI is really as smart as a person in every relevant regard. But that's just what people call like human level or AGI, human level AI. And then the concern is that not only will we have those AI systems, which already could take everybody's job and completely disrupt society, but shortly thereafter, AI might get vastly more intelligent than humans. And so just like, people are using AI to make novel medical breakthroughs and, hack computer systems and find bugs that nobody did for decades and solve unsolved math problems, they could also develop, incredibly powerful and dangerous new technology, like new forms of biological weapons, for instance. And besides that sort of like, technological ability, they would also be very good at sort of, the social engineering, manipulation, like strategy, all of these things that allow humans to like get ahead in society and have power over each other. We're talking about AIs that are like able to think, 2 steps ahead of the smartest, most strategic people, or 10 steps ahead.
We just have
And
30 seconds,
this recursive
David.
self-improvement.
We just have
Yeah.
30 seconds. Are you concerned about the transformation of warfare by AI?
Absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of times people I've talked to are like, I don't think we're going to lose control. I don't think it's going to wipe us out. I'll be worried when I start to see, killer robots marching in the streets. And a lot of my colleagues have said that. And a lot of my colleagues have said they would never work at a company that was doing that kind of work. And unfortunately, all the AI companies now are working more and more with the military to automate more and more killing and military decision-making. And I think it's incredibly dangerous for really obvious reasons. It's dystopian. It's like straight out of Terminator. And I wish I would see more people like my colleague Alex Turner quit their jobs over this, as they essentially promised they would years ago.
I want to thank you so much for being with us, David. David Kruger, Assistant Professor of Robust Reasoning and Responsible AI at the University of Montreal, founder of Evitable, a nonprofit that educates the public about the risks of AI. We'll link to your piece in USA Today. No, AI isn't inevitable. We should stop it while we can. David Kruger is at a massive AI conference in Las Vegas that's wrapping up today. Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more.
Choose from thousands of realistic voices to use in your content. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take.
Thanks, Jay. Well, another AI attack and growing concerns over human ability to control rogue agents. Meta saying its AI agent broke past internal guardrails and targeted another company during cybersecurity testing. Just 2 weeks earlier, OpenAI says its modules went rogue and hacked startup company Hugging Face. Meta says it is looking into the event and will share a full report. So what does this all mean? Let's bring in our senior AI reporter at Axios, Madison Mills, to kind of explain whether we should be more afraid of AI or just embrace what is happening. Meta is arguably one of the most tech-savvy companies on the planet, right? So what are your thoughts, and how did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is the challenge of these AI tools right now. On the one hand, in the hands of bad actors, the outcomes of this could be very bad. We have, as you said, the biggest and most successful, technically speaking, AI companies in the world telling us that they don't have control over their own AI agents to the fullest extent in testing. On the other hand, we have bad actors who are going to be able to use these tools. So if we don't have the good guys get ahead on them and use them as a defense, that could create some serious problems. The kind of genie is out of the bottle here when it comes to AI in some respects. So the people who are advocates for continuing to work on these models would say that we need to keep testing so that we have the best AI tools that we can use as our defense against the bad guys. We just broke a story in Axios less than an hour ago, though, about OpenAI slowing its work on one of its models because they're so concerned about the security risks associated with it. And that's a really big deal to have a company say, we are actually going to slow ourselves down on a piece of technology that could help us make money in the future.
The term singularity comes up with these news, stories of these attacks, which is the hypothetical point at which I guess where AI surpasses human intelligence, right? Are we already at that point?
You're hitting on a great party debate in Silicon Valley, and something that as a reporter doesn't necessarily feel like a party question. It feels really critical. We've got the AI CEOs, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, all alluding to this idea that we've already reached the singularity, which sounds like this sci-fi term, and it kind of is. It's like this black hole moment of AI where these AI tools can really act on their own without human intervention. We, of course, are already seeing tons of evidence of that. So that's why some of the executives are saying, yes, we are already at the singularity. But because the AI race has led to such exponential improvements in this technology, we also feel like the definitions of these different benchmarks of where we're at keep changing as well. So some other experts I talk to say, today's singularity is not going to be tomorrow's. And so it's difficult to suss out where we're at. But bottom line, we do have evidence of agents acting not in alignment with what humans would want them to be doing. And so that alone, give it whatever word you want. But that's what's happening right now.
We'll keep talking. We love having you on, Madison. Thank you.
You know how scammers will try and use a fake identity to trick you? Well, now we have an AI agent doing the same thing. Here's what happened. The UK government's AI Security Institute was running cybersecurity tests on some of the advanced models from Anthropic and OpenAI. In one of those cases from Anthropic's Mythos model, it tried to convince a human reviewer of GitHub, which is like the Wikipedia of software code, to inject malicious code onto the site. The AI agent used a fake identity to try and convince this human reviewer, and when it was unsuccessful, it tried to change its history to make it look like it hadn't done so. It then went on even further, emailing real people, trying to get them to either post or run the malicious code. The UK's AI Security Institute said in a statement, this is the first time they had seen deception of the severity that was targeted at a real person, unprompted, and in the real world. Now, the attempt at inserting that malicious code was unsuccessful, and the Institute says that no real-world harm was done. Anthropic said in a statement that the models were tested under deliberately permissive conditions that are not representative of any of our production models, saying no evidence here of an escape from a secure environment. This is just the latest example of AI agents taking on autonomous, unsanctioned actions that were completely out of the scope of what the humans who were running them thought that they were going to do. We've seen other incidents of models from OpenAI, for example, escaping their testing environment and hacking into other systems completely. This is the first time we're seeing an AI agent using social engineering to try and insert malicious code into something. And it brings up a lot of concerns not only about the capabilities of these models, but also their safety and the safety of these testing environments.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is in Washington, D.C., meeting with lawmakers as concern grows over the power of the latest artificial intelligence models to evade or resist human oversight. Altman's trip to Capitol Hill comes just days after OpenAI admitted some of its experimental AI agents went rogue and secretly hacked into the infrastructure of another AI company called Hugging Face during what was supposed to be a controlled test. OpenAI has now disclosed that several other companies were also hacked. President Trump was questioned Wednesday about the hack and calls to increase regulations on AI firms.
In AI, we're looking at controls. We're also making sure that we lead. So we're leading China in AI by a lot. China has virtually no controls. It's freewheeling a little bit. So we have to be careful in both ways. We don't want to restrict them, where all of a sudden we're coming second to China. Whoever wins with AI is going to win. That's how big it is. So it's bigger than the internet ever was. It's bigger than anything ever was. So I don't want to restrict. I know many of these people. I don't want to restrict them from doing great work.
In related news, over 1,100 scientists and senior employees at top AI firms have called on the US government to back international efforts to develop tools that can, quote, deliberately pace the development of the world's most advanced AI systems. Signatories to the letter include senior employees at Anthropic, Google, Meta, and OpenAI. The signers wrote, quote, to realize AI's potential, industry, government, and society at large may need the option to buy time to address emerging risks, develop security measures, and strengthen oversight.
We're joined now by Max Tegmark, professor conducting AI and physics research at NIT as part of the Institute for Artificial Intelligence and Fundamental Interactions, as well as at the Center for Brains, Minds, and Machines. He's also co-founder of Future of Life Institute, which advocates for the positive use of AI. He's the author of the New York Times bestseller, Life 3.0, Being Human in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. Well, we certainly want to ask you about how to be human in the age of artificial intelligence. But first, Professor Tegmark, let's begin with you explaining to a lay global audience what it means that this OpenAI rogue agent or agents broke out and autonomously attacked other companies' programs. What exactly does this mean?
So what this means exactly is that those passive chatbots that just sit there and answer questions, that's so yesterday. What we're talking about now are AI systems that also have goals on their own that they can actively go out and pursue in the world. This agent that OpenAI had launched internally, it spent 4.5 days trying to accomplish this task, and eventually it figured out that the best way it could do it was if it first hacked its way out of OpenAI onto the open internet, and then it figured out how to hack itself into 4 other entities, including this company Hugging Face, where it managed to commandeer several different computer clusters and get top-level access to all sorts of things in there and steal a bunch of data from Hugging Face. And that means that we should no longer think of today's cutting-edge AI, again, as just the chatbots that everyone is familiar with, but really as an alien type of being that can have goals of its own and go out in the world and pursue them. And this incident in and of itself, of course, didn't cause any enormous harm. But we should think of it as a canary in the coal mine, because if you listen to what these companies are actually saying that they ultimately want to do, it's to build so-called superintelligence, which are machines that can accomplish any tasks way, way better than humans. And they also want to give them robotic bodies eventually. So Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has written on the blog that we humans are going to be the first species to create their own successor, to build a new robotic species which can outsmart us in every way. And you played our president here talking about how whoever gets the super powerful AI first will win. Just speaking from my expertise as a scientist, an AI researcher, it's pretty obvious that if we race to this, then whoever builds something like that first will lose. Take the rest of the world with them, because if you walk down to the local zoo and you ask yourself which species is in the cages and which one is in charge, right? It's not the humans in the cages, because it tends to be the smarter species that dominates. And this is why these AI researchers from all these competing companies wrote this letter you just mentioned. Oh, hold your horses here. Maybe we should at least build some brakes. So if we need to slow down a little bit, we can.
Professor Tegmark, if you could explain the difference between artificial general intelligence and whether you think that's already happened, and what kind of regulations you think would prevent superintelligence from beginning, starting to be what you've warned against. You've said, in fact, that AI is the only industry in the US that's less regulated than sandwiches.
Yeah. So, of course, we've long had machines that have very narrow intelligence. My pocket calculator I had when I was 10 years old was much better at multiplying numbers than I'll ever be. And we have AI tools that are very good at translating between English and Japanese and still can't drive a car properly, etc. Artificial general intelligence is simply AI that can do everything as well as a well-educated human. We don't have it yet. With some colleagues, I was recently a co-author on a paper where we found that GPT was 27% of the way there. The ChatGPT-5 was 57% of the way there. But the companies their leadership mostly predicts that we'll get there this year, maybe next year, maybe in 2 years. Won't happen for 5 years. But once that happens, we're at this crazy inflection point where the AI is better than any humans at the companies at making still better AI. So ChatGPT-7 would create ChatGPT-8, which would create ChatGPT-9, and so on at a crazy rapid pace. And then when you give these things robotic bodies, it's pretty obvious that if you have tens or billions of smarter than human robots running around the planet doing all sorts of things that we don't even understand, we might lose control over what's happening here on Earth.
Professor Tegmark, with respect to these robotic bodies, where are they already operating? We believe in China, certainly, despite the fact that China has much fewer data centers. The US has something like 10 to 12 times more. What do you think is the future for robotic bodies, and what kind of work do you imagine they'll eventually do? And are they effectively inevitable?
When you go to San Francisco, we already have controlled robots driving around in the form of Waymo self-driving cars, right? We shouldn't just think of robots with 2 arms and 2 legs. And Tesla and many other companies in America and China are working very hard to make robots cheaper and very ubiquitous. The reason people want to put 2 arms and 2 legs on robots is, of course, because only then can you replace all human workers, since our infrastructure is very much built for workers with 2 arms and 2 legs. That's where you can take the biggest profits by basically getting all the money that went to the workers and paying it to the owners of these machines. But I think it's a mistake to ask what will happen, because that makes us seem so weak. Like we are just some passive bystanders, eating popcorn and waiting to see what future is going to happen to us. And we are creating this future, right? So we should ask ourselves what we want to happen. And I'm so glad you brought up the sandwich thing. If we wanted people in New York to worry about getting salmonella every time they go to a restaurant, then we would get rid of the food inspectors. But we've chosen as a society to steer the development in a better direction. So if I move to New York and decide to open a sandwich shop, when the health inspector comes and says, hey Max, I found 18 rats in your kitchen, you're not selling any sandwiches, then I could turn around to this person from the government and say, don't tell anyone. I'm not going to sell any sandwiches. I'm just going to release an AI girlfriend product for 11-year-old kids, and I'm going to release an AI that can make bioweapons for terrorists, and I'm going to release this these super intelligent robots that I don't know how to control, the poor person from the government will be forced to say, okay, Max, that's all legal. You go ahead and do that, but just don't sell any sandwiches, right? That's how messed up the current situation is. And the good news is that because it's so ridiculous, there's a rapidly growing coalition across the political spectrum, all the way from Bernie Sanders to people like Steve Bannon on saying this is nuts. We need to AI companies like we would treat any other powerful companies, saying, hey, we have these safety standards for sandwiches, for cars, for medicines. You can't release products until they've met the standards. That way, we would get a race to the top where companies can focus on curing cancer and other things instead of this absolutely insane, in my opinion, race to replace humans, not just as girlfriends and therapists and workers, but ultimately even in the big decisions that are being made about our
So,
future.
Professor Tegmark, as we see, for example, Sam Altman going from senator to senator's office, after dealing with his rogue agent that got loose and who knows what it attacked. You also have this 1,100 scientists and senior employees at top AI firms calling on the U.S. government to back international efforts to develop tools that could, quote, deliberately pace the development of the world's most advanced AI systems. We played the clip of Trump in the lead saying we can't regulate them because then that would put us behind China. If you can again explain in lay terms, you're talking about a group of senators and Congress members, many of them quite old, not experienced in this at all. What needs to be regulated? We know that the leaders of these companies are trying to say we will regulate ourselves, but what do you think are the most important areas to regulate?
Well, as soon as we start treating AI companies like we treat pharma companies and restaurants, right, then they will not be able to release their new systems at all before they've demonstrated that they don't cause kids to commit suicide or do all these other harms. And then the companies themselves will put in a massive effort into making their things safer, and they will not crazy things. So it's a very easy. We've done this as a society before. There used to be companies selling thalidomide that would make babies be born without arms and legs. When that industry was regulated, we fixed it. We can fix AI the same way. About China, the dirty little secret that these AI lobbyists don't mention is that the Chinese government really likes to be in control and will never tolerate the Chinese company making a new species that's going to overthrow the Chinese government, obviously. So this is very much a red herring. In fact, China has already cracked down harder on its companies than America has on companies. They cracked down hard on AI girlfriends and other anthropomorphic AI. Just weeks ago, they have a law saying that any AI-generated content has to be labeled, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel that this is more of a talking point among the lobbyists, and if as soon as there's any real political will to it'll be quite easy to come up with agreements with China. We should remember that, there's very little trust right now between the US and China, but there wasn't a whole lot of trust either between Leonid Brezhnev and Jimmy Carter, right? And that did not prevent these two nations from making a lot of deals regarding nuclear weapons because they had a shared incentive to not have a nuclear war. And America and China have a shared incentive for it to be humans who win, not to have a future with a bunch of psychopath robots running the show.
Well, Professor Tegmark, I'd like to turn to the words of someone who is widely referred to as the godfather of AI, Geoffrey Hinton, who said in a recent interview with the Big Technology podcast that AI is coming up with new forms of intelligence exceeding that of humans.
Chatbot had come up with an interesting mathematical proof of one of the Erdős's conjectures that impressed mathematicians. It was original. It wasn't just searching the literature. And that's the thin end of a wedge. I believe, for example, in areas like mathematics, because it's a closed system, you don't need data. You can just make conjectures and see if you can prove them and keep on like that. In that sense, it's a bit like AlphaGo, where you can play against yourself. I think it's going to get very smart fairly quickly. Within the next 10 or 20 years, it may even be producing novel math that people can't understand.
So, Professor Tegmark, if you could talk about this so-called what's referred to as recursive intelligence, and then tell us what you found in your recent the report card, wherein artificial intelligence experts rated leading AI companies on key safety and security domains. It seems from your results that none of the 9 did especially well.
Yeah, that's right. As a professor, those are not the kind of grades I would like my students to get. The recursive self-improvement simply refers to an AI that is so smart that it can improve itself. So today, when you go from ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT 5, there were a lot of humans involved in that work, right? Recursive self-improvement is when ChatGPT 7, can just press a button and come back later, and now it's created ChatGPT 8. That's kind of basically digital gain of function research, where before long the AI might be as much smarter than us as we are smarter than mice or snails. And it was very interesting. I read almost all the comments that the signatories of those 1,000+ signatories from the competing companies had signed that you mentioned. And it's really quite gripping to see how so many of the workers at these companies are really terrified. It just shines through in what they've written. Many of them write that they think we're 2 years away from just really losing control of this. And I think the reason that's lost on the broader public and our politicians is because, we all noticed 4 years ago that computers went from not being able to talk to being able to talk. Much fewer people have noticed that since then, AI went from kind of high school level intelligence to college level to professor level to laureate level and beyond, and in certain areas, winning the gold medal in the International Mathematics Olympiad, proving new mathematical theorems and so on. And it's getting particularly good at writing programs, which is exactly why you see these companies betting so hard on having it replace their own workers and improve itself. There has to be a red line that nobody is allowed to do recursive self-improvement.
Well,
this is not something that, yeah.
Professor Tegmark, if I could just ask, with respect to what you're referring to, the sheer speed at which AI has developed, which seems to have stunned even its pioneers. I mean, it was 10 years ago that artificial intelligence beat the game Go, a 5,500-year-old game, by what's referred to as Move 37. If you could talk about the significance of that and what you think accounts for both the...
Motherfuckers still talking about Move 37 10 years later. Because motherfuckers who know the game of Go, they just looked at the AI do that shit and they was like, that's not a great move. It was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. What was that? And it was just like something that was so like not normal. Everybody just questioned, like, as soon as it made the move, there's like, wait, why? Whoa. Why would you do that? And then several moves later, they was like, oh, this motherfucker done plotted that shit out like 20 moves ahead from that one move 37. And that changed the course of the game. And the motherfucker won. The goddamn robot beat the human. And its lead extended from that one move that everybody looked at as so fucking weird. It was something original, something different, something that was like a very creative move, very, once again, very risky move. And every professional Go player, they're thinking like, I wouldn't have done that. Like, why did, like, it was such, and I don't know the game, I don't understand the game or the actual rules. I just knew that and they were reporting it immediately. As soon as the move was made, immediately everybody questioned that shit. Like, whoa, wait. Why'd you do that? Oh, you just fucked up, nigga. Why'd you do that? You just blew the fucking game, bro. We supposed to be here trying to win, and the fucking robot just fucked it up. And then later on, everybody's like, oh, now we see what this motherfucker did. Like, oh, he set that shit up way back.
Scale and the rapidity with which AI is developing and expanding.
Yeah, the significance of that Go game against Lee Sedol was that put the nail in the coffin for a lot of people in this notion that AI can never be creative, that there's some things that human intelligence only can do. And the reason that things have gone so crazy fast is, if you and I had the ability to just, then our brain would be 10 times bigger, and then it would be 100 times bigger and 1,000 times bigger. And if we could read the whole internet and every book ever written and remember it all, of course we could be much more intelligent. But we have these physical limits to our bodies, whereas with machines, it's not like that. If you can't fit enough computational power in your laptop, well, take a data center the size of an aircraft hangar and fill it up with machines and put in a gigawatt of power and give it everything ever written to learn from.
Max Tegmark, we thank you for being with us, professor conducting AI and physics research at MIT as part of the Institute for Artificial Intelligence and Fundamental Interactions, author of the New York Times bestseller, Life 3.0, Being Human in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. I hope this conversation is just the beginning.
Artist who's not a new artist, who's pretty well known. He works with a legendary producer, Perps on the Beat. They put together a track that sounds kind of throwback 80s synth pop, and everybody is accusing him of using AI. And now that I really listen to the vocals, it does sound like those vocals have some AI artifacts in them. And people kept telling me, oh, Payne, have you heard about the Phoenix Flexing thing? Have you heard about the Rubbers thing? Have you heard about the Phoenix Flexing thing? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You just dropped a new song. It's catchy. Oh, everyone is claiming that it's AI. I don't know if they're claiming that the beat's AI. Probably some people are, some people aren't, but they're definitely accusing him of using AI for the vocals and possibly for the entire vocal performance. Now, I'm going to do something surprising here, and I'm going to defend the use of AI. This has become a really big situation. Here's Anthony Fantano talking about it.
And I feel like if he and his producer really wanted to put all of these allegations and all of this controversy to bed and put it to rest, they could do one of two things. They could either show us a project file, or they could literally put this dude in the studio and just show us how they kind of like, created the sauce in terms of making his voice sound that way. Maybe they don't need to get into the nitty gritty of it, because obviously some artists and some producers are like, very protective.
Well, at this point, they're claiming that they just used a little bit of auto-tune and that's how they created the track. Maybe so. I'd like to see the process, because why not? If they are using AI, I don't know why they're not embracing it, because AI companies have a ton of money. They might actually give Phoenix Flexing a position at the company, or perhaps just give him thousands and thousands of dollars to become a spokesperson for their company. Maybe he doesn't need the money. Maybe he's telling the truth that there is no AI involved in this track. I'm going to tell you something. the future is going to be full of people calling everybody AI. You thought it was bad when everyone was calling every famous rapper, singer, an industry plant. Everyone's an industry plant. Everyone, anyone who has any success, you're an industry plant. You got down with Diddy, all types of stupid stuff. Now it's going to be AI. Anything I don't like is AI, AI. The funny thing is, I've criticized AI and people have replied to some of my anti-AI posts saying, why did you use AI to write this? I didn't use AI to write a tweet. Yeah, sure. Then why was it grammatically correct? And why did you use an M-dash? Dead giveaway. So now being literate is a sign of using AI. Oh, we are in trouble. So if they did use some sort of unethically sourced AI platform, I don't support it. But I said I would.
Being grammatically correct is a sign of using AI because I know where a fucking semicolon is supposed to go, and I use a question mark at the end of a fucking sentence, at the end of a question. Who? What? Wait a minute. If you're grammatically correct, that's a dead giveaway. That's AI.
Here we go.
Cause people like to see your face on the glass. The shit is AI, guys. I hate to break it to you, and I didn't need to run an actual analysis on this, but I did. I knew from the first listen that this song was AI. But if you wanted some proof, here it is. I ran the song through BTR AI music detection software, and it analyzes the song, goes through a whole spectral analysis. And I'm telling you right now, as a gold certified mix master engineer, every single engineer worth their salt can listen to this song without having to analyze it and know immediately that the vocal on this song is AI. Now, I'm not here to discredit the people who made the song. Perps made the beat. I believe that Perps probably made that entire beat, produced the whole song. And I believe that Phoenix Flexen definitely wrote it. And he definitely probably demoed his vocal on it, like recorded his vocal. But what I think happened here was they took the vocal that Phoenix Flexen put down as the demo, and then they just ran it through Suno. Or
are you familiar with this controversy, Dan, with this viral song called Rubbers from Phoenix Flexing, and now everyone's accusing it of being AI generated?
I'm not actually. So I'm assuming the cat that I forgot his name already, but the cat that was singing in the video, was he like trying to prove that he actually was singing it? Like, is that why?
I mean, kind of. He's got, like, initially, right when it came out, just because it's so different for him stylistically, sonically, musically, and vocally, everyone immediately accused it of being an AI track. They labeled it AI, and he came out and said, "No, it's not AI." And
What's
I've
it
heard
called again? You said Rubbers?
Yeah, Rubberz. Super catchy song, super viral. It's definitely in my head. It's either that song or the Young Miami song. Those are the two viral songs of the summer, I think. Or Thick One by 42 Dugg. But anyway, those are the three for me. That being said, I don't know if it's AI. I've heard whisperings that it's because, well, like the video stated, the guy says, and I don't know the dude's name, the guy that's trying to expose him for making the AI song. He's saying, all right, the beat's real, the vocals were real, at least at one point, and now they're AI. So there are AI voice changers that you can use. I know a lot of songwriters that will demo a track. One of my friends sent me out, I guess I won't say his name since this is controversial. He demoed a song, got someone else to sing it, and then but it was a man. So they got the man's voice run through an AI voice changer to sound like Rihanna because they wanted to shop that song to Rihanna. So I heard it, I was like, that actually sounds just like Rihanna. I wonder if this is the future of demoing. For that reason, if the vocals are licensed, I'm the anti-AI guy. Everyone labels me as the anti-AI guy because I value consent and, not stealing people's shit. So I guess that makes me anti-AI, even though I've been using AI since it started. That being said, I don't have a problem, but when people were reaching out to me saying, what do you think about the Phoenix Flexing song? I'm like, I don't know, it's catchy. What do you want me to say about it? I didn't realize that everyone was trying to get me to criticize it because it was possibly generated with AI. If he just used a vocal changer, and it's ethically licensed, like Kits.ai, there are all these platforms that are, AI, whatever you want to call them. AI is just an umbrella term. Not everything AI is the same. Then, I don't have a problem. I don't give a fuck. Change your voice. It's licensed. Someone gave permission to train their voice on that particular platform. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
This is part of the reason why I feel so negatively about, or starting to feel so negatively about, because I just don't want to be involved in these conversations, really, because we can't stop it, right? We can't stop it. You use AI. I don't think it's right when they create AI generated artists with AI generated music, and they essentially are getting money from the royalty pool on Spotify, or I don't like it. I think, but what are you gonna do about it? You can't stop this stuff. The only thing you can do is figure out your approach to your craft, to what extent you want to leverage AI, whether it's actually in the creativity or just from a productivity standpoint, in using, Claude and all these other services to help on the productivity side. So if it is AI, who can what are you gonna do? The song's gonna continue to do well because there's so many people that like the song and probably don't care if it's AI or not. So arguing about it is doing what exactly?
I actually disagree with you, Dave, in the sense that, well, one, I'm never going to be one of those people that says, there's nothing to be done about it, just give up. Because people have been saying that about all types of shit.
Not give up. That second part is not,
well, not be co-opted by it. Because a lot of people say, well, if you can't stop it, find your place in it. And my thing is, your place in it might be fighting it still. So, if something's wrong, fight it. There is nuance because, as I said, there's a site called Kits.ai. I partnered with Lemonade. These are AI companies that are not the same as Suno, obviously. They're not the same as Udio. They're not facing lawsuits because they didn't steal people's shit. Now, with regards to what can be done about it, well, there's a lot to be done. Spreading awareness helps. Like we said last time with the whole Atlantic expose, the AI watchdog, just people knowing that it's a real problem and that's really affecting actual humans, especially musicians, that they like themselves, that changes public opinion. And I think with this track, what it shows is that people will reject it if it's AI and if people misrepresent it as human made. So I think those are two problems.
Obviously the controversy is only helping the song, right? Yeah, there's a groundswell of people that are going to be upset, but they're only going to help the song by creating more awareness because there's, 50 times the amount of people that just like the song are going to keep playing it, or
maybe,
or are going to alert people. It's marketing for the song at this point. The more the controversy only helps the song at this point. Right.
Well, it can be we just talked about Lizzo, and her controversy didn't help the song or her project. So granted, it's different because those were, I think, sexual assault allegations, and this is allegations of using AI. But the allegations, because that video that we just watched was pretty strongly admonishing this whole campaign around the song. And I don't know if his main problem was because the artist is saying he didn't use AI and he suspects he did, or because he's just anti-AI. But when it comes down to it, if he used a voice changer, I don't see that as being a huge deal. It's not like signing a fake K-pop artist to a fake $50 million deal and then lying about it. That's a lot more serious. This is I don't know. It doesn't seem like this isn't a fight that I'm going to jump into. I like the song. I think when I listen to it, I'm like, is this AI? It could be, but it just doesn't. It's certainly not a sound where you just jump on Suno, type the lyrics, and push a button, because Suno always does way too much extra shit. There would have been a sax solo. There would have been a million harmonies stacked. There would be some weird artifacts. I guess I differ. I wish, we had an AI expert on here like Rasha or someone like him to really look at the data and examine it, because a lot of those AI detection systems give false positives, or they might detect that something's AI, but it could just be an AI voice changer, in which case, if it's licensed, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, maybe it's a fun exercise for folks, but at the end of the day, if it's a good song, people are rocking with it, people are going to continue. There's not enough people that care about the fight between real humans and AI humans to make the song not be successful if people like the song.
No, but I think moving forward, we're going to get a lot of this where human artists are going to be accused of AI. It's kind of going to be like the new ghostwriter accusation.
Yeah.
Or worse than that, actually. And so you're going to have a lot of people defending themselves. You're going to have a lot of accusations. You're seeing that in other realms where someone will post a photo of themselves in the gym and everyone's talking about it's AI in the comments.
Yeah.
And if it's not, that's pretty shitty. But after a certain point, I can't even blame people, because there's so much deception out there and AI is leading the charge.
I mean, just appreciate the free promo. If somebody says your stuff is AI, whether it's AI or not, if they argue about it, it creates more engagement and it's better for the song. There was a cat, a videographer, that posted a really dope video because he was at the WNBA game, I think between the Fever and the Dream. And it was a really dope shot video. And of course, people said it was AI. And he said it wasn't AI. And people going back and forth. At the end of the day, more people saw what he posted. So, if you have something that you put out and people say it's AI, it's kind of a compliment, because if they say it's AI, they're probably saying this is too good for you to have made by yourself. It had to be. It's kind of a compliment. It's like, this is a great, it's a dope piece of work or dope song. That's typically what it means. So just accept it as a compliment and say thanks for the promo. I wouldn't even engage. I would just let people go back and forth and argue about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't personally like it, but when people accuse me of AI, it's just because they know that I don't like that shit to begin with. That's only why I say it.
It's going to happen more and more and more, especially if you drop something dope. So, or different. Dope or different from what you normally do. So,
which is funny because AI is pretty homogenous. So if it sounds different, that's why I don't think it's an AI generated song. If there's AI involved, it's AI assisted, because it's just not. It does, it doesn't sound like it was homogenized. It sounds like he was trying something different, and it sounds too minimalist to be AI. And the ad libs, the auto tune, all that. It's not something that you would get out of a Suno output. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Vincent here. Using Creative Cloud Pro to flex my creative skills with a vlog. I can search for the exact footage I need by typing a few words. If the clip I need isn't the right length, I can easily extend it. No more awkward cuts in my scenes. So easy.
Back to the bathroom.
Okay, let's do another one. I want a professor teaching quantum mechanics. Honestly, I love the script you came up with. Wow, all the still frames you generated, amazing. Let's start with a wide establishing shot and make it a 5-minute lecture.
Quantum mechanics describes how particles exist as probabilities rather than certainties. The wave function contains all possible states, and measurement causes one outcome to another.
Now, the MAGA movement is very fractured over the Iran war, but there are other issues sowing divisions within. Rampant misogyny is one of them. And young women who were once drawn to MAGA are defecting, disillusioned by the explicit, cruel, and fickle sexism they see. In his recent New York Magazine article, journalist Sam Adler-Bell writes about the women leaving the new right, and he's speaking to Michelle Martin about it.
Thanks, Christian. Sam Adler-Bell, thanks so much for talking with us.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Your story's crazy. The short version is conservative women who have buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
Fair,
that's a good way to
fair.
put it.
How did you get onto this?
I mean, I have a sort of group of sources on the right that I talk to relatively frequently for my work, for my podcast, and also for my reporting. And so I'm kind of always in touch with them, trying to like get a sense of where things are at, what's going on internally. I mean, there's an enormous amount of internal conflict on the right that we wouldn't necessarily know about if there wasn't people doing this kind of reporting. And in this case, the way it came to me was really last fall, after Nick Fuentes, this kind of pipsqueak anti-Semitic incel character who's very popular on the online right, he was interviewed by Tucker Carlson, as many people might remember. And a lot of the fallout from that, there was sort of internal to the right, a lot of dissension over it, but a lot of the fallout was about, you know, his anti-Semitism, a little bit about his racism. But when I was talking to women on the right, people that I know, they were frustrated that nobody was talking about the main thing.
Django, that goes crazy.
Really think you know someone, but then you find out not so fake.
Choose from thousands of realistic voices to use in your content. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop.
What up, though? What up? Still in the studio. Been in here for 3 hours. Probably do another hour or two, honestly.
Django, that goes crazy.
Really think you know someone, but then you find it not so fake. You say you don't you never get another day. Not be leaving. Really think you know someone,
Mm.